about 10 days before the Alex Atkins news broke that he was going to be the new tight ends coach and run game coordinator. Go to any show where we talked about tight ends coach. We brought up his name a lot. The way that I did that process is a lot of the same way that I'm going to do this process. We're not in the news breaking business. But there are some names that we might need to run through. I am interested about the Kyle Williams angle here. There are some concerns. So a lot of you have asked me before, this part is opinion, just to get the opinion piece out of here. The Kyle Williams thing for me is interesting because I do think that Kyle can come in here and be a really good defensive line coach. I also believe that he can be a guy that really could stay here for a long time and develop that room as long as you need him to. At least you would hope so. Like, I don't think that another college, maybe the NFL could, but I don't think another college team is going to come in here and pluck him from you. Money would not be the driving force for a guy like Kyle Williams. The problem with Kyle Williams, guys, is listen, you think it's crazy, and you think that you can just go into a room with Kyle Williams and say, hey, I'm Kyle Williams. You should come to LSU. It doesn't work like that. And even more in today's world. Relationships do matter. Money matters a lot more. You can't leave him out to dry. There's no way in hell that a coach who has not built up resources that when he needs money to go out and get a guy to do it. Now, he could have that with LSU, and LSU needs to dump a shitload of money in their interior defensive line. Help him recruit if that were ever to be the guy. I hope Kyle, if Kyle gets hired here, you're taking a big risk because there's a massive difference from going to Ruston High School as a coach and going to LSU as a defensive line coach. There's nobody in LSU's history from an NFL career. No one at the current moment that's seen more action at that position than that guy. No one. With that being said, I think from on the field, technical and tactical, as Brian Kelly likes to put it, from a developmental piece, there's nobody that can teach you the game and those guys the game better than Kyle Williams. I worry about him massively in recruiting. And you're going to have to get in there. You can't just leave him there because the room's got to be rebuilt. And I love Kyle Williams. I've told you this, one of my favorite players of all time. It's just it's a massive risk. And my question would be, do you, in a room that really needs to be rebuilt, really needs some turnover and to be rebuilt, do you give that to a first-time sitting position coach in college? That's the question. Number two. Well, I guess I could say, and I love Kevin Falk. The last time you did that, Kevin Falk came aboard, and it didn't work out for you. It's not all on Kevin. Kevin had a tragedy like no other, and I can't imagine what he went through. Kevin wasn't a great running backs coach here, at least not with Orgeron. It didn't work out. So I'm not saying it would be the same thing here, but experience it could be paramount in how to dig a team out of and rebuild the room. There are some guys and some names that I think are interesting here to me. Travian Robertson, the defensive line coach from South Carolina. Now, Travian Robertson, if you don't know or don't remember or whatever, just only focus on LSU. He really revamped and reshaped that room this year for South Carolina. What's interesting to me about him is that he's from the Carolinas. His wife runs track at South Carolina, or ran track at South Carolina. And I don't think the wifey's going to want to go. He does have some Louisiana ties. He does have ties to a lot of coaches that are on this staff. If you were to get Travian Robertson, I think it would be a massive deal. But man, with the happy wife, happy life. Happy wife, happy life. There are some other names that are out there, but I got to be real with you. I seriously don't know right now where LSU turns. I think that there are some names that are interesting to me that do have Louisiana connections that would be really good for you, but I just don't know where BK turns here. I really don't. I'm interested to see. I will say this. There's been chatter out there that buyouts go down around the middle of March, and you could be waiting for that until you really go after somebody so that you're not having to pay a crap load of money. And the buyouts would be about a week away before buyouts start going down. You may have to go a week, maybe even two, into spring before you get that guy. I got to be real. I don't know how much I like that. If that is what LSU does, but there is truth to that. A lot of these contracts, guys' buyouts go down about midway through March. I don't like that because I like that from being fiscally conservative, but I don't like it at the same time. Like, why are we worried about money right now with a room that really needs help? That's neither here nor there. So I just don't know where they're going to turn. I do feel like that for what it's worth, though, I do think that they're trying to get in front of a lot of people to figure it out. They're not overreacting when they're not overreacting. They're trying to make the best hire for them, and good on them. A lot of this noise that is out there that I am hearing from either social media or elsewhere, even stuff that y'all send me from other shows, I got to be real. I'm not hearing it. And I would tell you, I do think it's a little bit dangerous. I do think it's dangerous because it makes LSU look like they're missing a guy that they are not even talking to and have never talked to, ever have talked to about being in this position. Here's the thing about media. Teams having conversations with people are not the same as them like negotiating a contract. But man, I got to be honest. I don't know where they go from here. It's going to be interesting to see. And look, I would love to milk it because that's just more content for us. The longer they milk it, the better it is for this show. Good on them. Please milk it so we can come out here and talk about it. What are we hearing? I'm just not hearing much. Not of anything that is of true relevance.